What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
So what's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
All right. Welcome to the final day of 2024. What are you laughing at? You're already laughing.
No, I'm just laughing how you guys were sitting there watching me like this on my phone.
Oh yeah, because we were all joining the session here. I was the last one in, so Rob was just dipped out, not paying attention, and in his phone. How was your Christmas, guys? Oh, by the way, we're back. It's we took a week off for Christmas. B-Dog Brandon Harper. My name's Rob Jenners. That, of course, is seven-time NBA champion, and on the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame ballot is Robert Horry.
Yeah,
How about that for a Christmas surprise, huh?
Oh, that was a big Christmas surprise. When I saw it, I was very, very shocked. And at first, when I had two friends to text me because they was watching NBA Today, and they said it on NBA Today, and I haven't watched NBA Today in a while. And one of the guys' name is Richard Simmons.
Oh.
No, not that Richard Simmons.
I was going to say that Richard Simmons passed away recently, so hopefully it's not him.
Richard Simmons is a longtime Laker fan, and he's a lawyer. And he texted me. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So when I actually got to work that day, they confirmed it on a little piece on the show. So it was kind of funny. So I was very shocked and very honored.
So you're on the ballot with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they narrow the ballot down during All-Star Weekend.
How many did they narrow it down to?
I don't know. It's a good question. Do you know that? I
have no clue. Because I figure if I don't look, I don't have any expectations, so I don't get too disappointed if I don't make it.
They announced the ballot Friday, February 14th in San Francisco as part of NBA All-Star Weekend. Some of the names on the ballot. Do you want me to run down some that are on there, or you don't want? You'd rather not know?
Yeah.
Okay. Carmelo's on there. I think Carmelo's gonna get in.
Yeah.
Sue Bird is on there. Maya Moore is on there.
She's in.
Dwight Howard is on there. On the fence on Dwight.
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
I'm not on the fence on Dwight.
I'm not on the fence. I just think he deserves it, but you know how the Hall can be. So, yeah.
But why would they be iffy on Dwight?
You know how the Hall is, dog. They're going to look at off-court stuff.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Especially now with all the stuff that's going on with him now. They're going to be like, hey, do we need that kind of, publicity? So,
you do. Let me... I don't know if I want to go here.
No, go.
I'm going to go here.
Go there.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to go
it's
here.
the last show of the year, man. Just burn it down.
I get it because they've talked about the Hall, when it comes to football, and when they had T.O., not going in or, felt a certain type of way about him being a Hall of Fame because of he didn't really have any off the field. All his stuff was on field antics. My problem with this is, how do we start measuring off field and off court antics? Okay, we know what everything that went on with Dwight and all the rumors and speculation about his sexual escapades. Now, not to mention he's engaged now. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, how do we measure the off the field and off the court foolishness? Because there are guys who are in the Hall of Fame who cheat on their wives. Is that a problem? Is that something that keeps people out the Hall of Fame? Or is it just how people choose to use their backfield or if their backfield is in motion? How do we measure stuff? I'm being honest. I'm being real. How do we measure this? Because none of these things are great in the sight of a lot of people on the Hall of Fame committee. So if we're going to use off the court and off the field stuff to determine if somebody gets in, we got to start looking at everything because a lot of these guys ain't been very faithful men either.
But isn't that what the NBA or the Major League Baseball judges steroids as? Off the field? Well, it's off the field antics in the sense it affected the game, but it's just, things, I don't know. I think if there's somebody like Dwight and there's an honest conversation about, he was dominant for a short period of time.
He won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
So did Rudy Gobert. We putting him in the Hall of Fame right away?
but I'll say this. We never looked at Rudy Gobert as the best center in basketball.
I don't know. He got paid like he was.
Oh, well, yeah, but nowadays people getting paid out. Mikal Bridges is going for 4 first-round picks. What that tell you about the league today?
Point. Yeah, point. Okay.
So his pay is one thing, but we've never looked at, for about 7 years or so, Dwight Howard was the best center in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Got
to the finals once.
Yeah.
Won it in the bubble with the Lakers. Does that count at all? I guess not,
Yeah,
right?
with Dwight I think he deserves it, but I think they're gonna look to see what's gonna happen with these allegations. The other allegations that have come out, we had nothing to do with his sexual preferences. What he has, some other stuff. We ain't gonna talk about that but I think he deserves it. But the Hall is a fickle thing. It's like, and you look at this group of people, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And now with the spotlight being on female basketball right now, and I think all these females in it are deserving to go in there. And I think they should go in there because they put their mark on the female basketball, and they should go in. So I think a lot of guys like myself, Dwight, Doc, Billy Donovan, we're not going in. And I just think that those people, and Marc Gasol, I don't think he's going to get those people. Mark might go in just because they want the Spanish viewership from that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of those people who Carmelo is definitely going in, Sue Bird is definitely going in. Like, they're going to go in. It's just going to be a different type of year. And I just think that's just how, it works sometimes. It's just about timing.
Yeah, I guess. So, yeah, you mentioned some of the other names on there with you. Doc Rivers is on there. Billy Donovan's on there. I mean, just a lengthy Marc Gasol. Mickey Harrison's on there. I guess going in with the owners vote, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's just kind of a weird year.
Yeah.
It's sort of a weird year. But
I would love for it to go in 2025 because 2025 is my number. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame committee. Get Rudy T on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I guess one of the reasons I feel good about this, obviously, you should feel good about it if your name is on the ballot anyway.
Exactly.
But I guess another reason why I feel good about this is because when you have so many prevalent individuals over the years, outside of what you did on the floor, outside of what you did in college, outside of what you did in the pros, when you had so many prominent people, whether it be coaches, former teammates, guys who you may not have played with, but they respected what you did in this league, when you have so many of those people speak up for you so often, I think that creates sound waves throughout the sport. And it creates sound waves throughout the hall as well for people to even take a second, third, or maybe even fourth look at not just numbers, but also impact. Because there are guys who've had numbers, but they may not have had the necessary impact. And that's no disrespect to anybody. That's just the truth.
But that's kind of how I look at Rob.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's how I look at you. Like you were never the guy that had the huge, crazy high numbers and stuff because you were the roles you played. But you've talked about this 100 times over. Mm-hmm. You made more contributions to the teams you were on than guys who maybe won 3 or 4 rings but were the featured guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They didn't have those moments. They didn't have that contribution to their team. So I think you're right, B. I think there's value in that the Hall needs to look at.
And I don't mean cut you off, Rob, but we're trying to give you your flowers for a second, so hold off. Hold on for a second.
Let us throw roses for a minute.
Right. What I also think is a lot of your shots, especially where your nickname comes from, it changed the trajectory of NBA history. If that shot does not fall versus Sacramento, I don't know what the Lakers' legacy looks like. We understand Kobe, we understand Shaq, we understand Phil, but that could be one less title that you all have, or on the road to one less title. You see what I'm saying? Like, those shots that you hit, it's created sound waves throughout NBA history, and sometimes it does take one shot or one play. The shot over Michael Jordan's shot over Craig Elo is historic.
Yeah,
his flu game shot, quote unquote, is historic. we talk about these
hangover
shots.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about the anniversary of these shots all the time. And your shot is one of the shots where we talk about the anniversary of it every year. You know why? Because there are certain plays throughout history that create history. And if it didn't go down, it would change history. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you guys for your support, man. It means a lot because I've had so many people just call and say congratulations. And, people who I didn't think even knew much about basketball. I've said, "Oh, dude, I saw you got nominated for the Hall of Fame." I was in my wife's favorite place, Home Goods, and this little lady came up to me and said, "Congratulations on the nominee." And I guess a lot of people don't understand when you're nominated, that don't necessarily mean you in. But then she was like, "So when is it? When you got your speech ready?" I'm like, "Damn,
she
lady."
went all the way in. She went way down the road.
But you think about it though. This is I think she had to be maybe like 75, 80-year-old lady who loves basketball, and she came up to me and was like so excited for me. And I'm looking at her like, I might not get in. It takes a while, and da. She was like, "You gonna get in? I believe in you, baby. You're so sweet." That's like the old lady saying, "You're so sweet." I'm like, "You don't even know me, lady. I might be here to rob this place."
Hey, you definitely ain't getting in the Hall of Fame either.
Yeah, that's not gonna,
you definitely ain't getting in.
Robert
not gonna help your candidacy. Yeah.
Robert Horry was arrested for robbing Home Goods.
Oh, robbing a Home Goods. Pistol whipping an old lady. Was trying to give him his flowers.
Hey, come on, man.
All right, so I always feel like there's like a cop out of like, it's an honor just to be nominated when you see that. But in this specific case, I feel like that is a humongous honor because it's not just like this is we've talked so many times about how hard it is to break through the Hall of Fame wall. Yeah. Like to get on their radar, to get through the committees, to get onto a ballot, like that alone is a ridiculous accomplishment. So while I have faith that you are going to get in, the fact that you're in the conversation at this point, I love that. Like I feel right because it's like it doesn't now we don't have to have another Rudy T moment where someone's got to get up at the hall and go, "Hey, I really think that you guys should consider Robert Horry because everything he's done." Like you don't have to do that now. It's the name's in front of them. So like in this case, the whole it's an honor just to be nominated. I think that actually counts here.
Why did you use a Shaq voice?
It's an honor just to be nominated. It's just because every time it's an award show, it's a cop-out, right? So it's an honor. I mean, it means you're not going to win. But a lot of people win in this case. So, yeah, I like it, man. I hope you get in. I really do. We're obviously, of course, pulling for you. But, we'll be here to laugh at you when you don't. So, get you the Bart Simpson cake. At least you tried. There you go.
Better luck next time, buddy.
Better luck next time. Biggest story of the week out of LA was D'Lo.
Yeah.
D'Lo gone.
For a second time.
Yeah, again. To the Nets again. One of the rare from the Lakers to the Nets trades happened twice for him. Traded D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, 3 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. That went down on Sunday.
Shake Milton, yep.
The move gives the Lakers a versatile 3 and D player in Finney-Smith, according to the NBA, according to ESPN. He averaged 10.5 points, 4.5 rebounds per game this season for the Nets. You like this move?
Shot 45, I think 45,
45% from three, yeah, something like that. You like this move?
I do because since I'm watching the Lakers because I know analysts for them. I think D'Lo has checked out a long time ago, and I'm not just saying that because he's coming off the bench. I'm saying that because there's so many things when you watch a guy's body language. He's in and out of the lineup. My thumb's hurt, this and that. He just, and there's rumors around that nobody in the locker room is liking him because he was pissed off about not starting. And for me, it's just like it's time to move on from that because he's not really giving you anything anymore. He have like 1 out of 8 games that are good, and so. And I think it's best for him. I don't think it's best for the Lakers organization. I think it's best for him because he can go back to a situation where he was an all-star, where he had control of the team, where he can do what he wanted to do. And there's a lot of players like that. They're not very good when they got to work with others. And to me, D'Lo is so much better when he doesn't have to work with people that are better than him.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think his name was always the one that was in the trade wheel, always, to some degree, out of all the guys there. And so to see him be traded again to the Nets again is not necessarily surprising. Yeah, I just think D'Lo was inconsistent, but I think him being brought off the bench and being upset that he wasn't starting, a lot of it was on him. You can't, if you're going to be a pivotal piece on a team, you can't be consistently inconsistent. And there are games where I look at D'Lo and I'm like, this is the D'Lo that we want. And then there are other games where I'm like, is he even on the floor? Like, where is he? Yeah. And I know all of this is tied to LeBron and AD and how much they have left and trying to get to another title. But when you have those guys like that, especially LeBron, whose days are numbered, we know what the Lakers are trying to do. The Lakers are trying to put pieces around LeBron and AD who they feel as though fit them the best. And with Dorian Finney-Smith, who is a decent player who can shoot the ball, who can knock the ball. Hopefully when he puts on that Laker jersey, it's not like
everybody else
touched the basketball and sucked all the power away.
And there's so many Lakers that happen to the next thing they go to another team. Like, why did you have to have the fucking Lakers?
No, I think so many guys got to know their role. His role is to come in, knock down shots, and play perimeter defense.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. And so I think it's a good move because I think he pairs well with LeBron. Knock down shots. When the ball comes your way, you have a wide open shot, knock it down.
You know what's most interesting thing out of this is that JJ Redick was teammates with both of these guys at some point.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was a teammate with Finney and Milton. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh, no, I didn't even know that. That's hilarious. Well, maybe that'll help, though. Maybe they got more respect. They'll listen to a guy they played with.
Or maybe they won't. They're like, motherfucker, I used to bust your ass in practice.
Well, that's a whole... You shit. I know you. You're telling me how to run a play. That was the big move out of LA. The other big move this week that I think kind of threw a few people, because I've got some head coaches talking about it, was Mike Brown getting fired. We talked about this, what was it, a few weeks ago? Mm-hmm. Is it a Mike Brown thing, or is it a management thing, or do you move guys? And now I guess they pulled the plug on Mike, but I think the way they did it was kind of garbage.
It was punk.
They let him run practice. They let him talk to the media that day, and then he got on the plane. As he's getting on the plane, they were like, "Yeah, you got to stay. You can't get on the plane."
Well, when I see a move like this, a lot of people, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. This is a very unusual move for an organization. So we don't know, and I'm just speculating. I guarantee you, some player after that practice said something to, had a phone call or a meeting with management, because that is a move that will only happen when someone goes in management. Man, fuck Mike Brown. I can't stand him no more. They went off like that. And people are looking at it as the organization, but that's the thing with organizations now. If there's a star player that is in a contract year or what may be, or disgruntled, who do you keep happy, the player or the coach? And a lot of times they go for the player. And I think, especially unless you don't want something as a coach. If he's like Phil Jackson and you go in and say, man, fuck you, this Phil Jackson, he win the championship. You ain't did shit. And so to me, I hate that it was done this way. They could at least waited one game before they did it. But I guarantee you that some player called him and said, yo, man, fuck this guy. And that's why they did it. Mm-hmm.
Well, it ain't but two people.
Yeah.
I can really think of.
I was writing up the clickbait headline in my head. Robert Horry says De'Aaron Fox had.
No, I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox.
Well, like I said, it ain't but two people.
Robert Horry says Sabonis had.
No, that ain't the one. It's another one.
It's actually four guys over there that might have. I said 3.5. Yeah.
Okay, 3. I could do 3. I don't know who the half person is. I'll say 3.
Who's your speculative?
Yeah, let me hear this.
Well, first it was.
I thought what you were going to say.
But I was going to say I thought it was DeMar DeRozan.
That's exactly who I thought you were going to say.
I think I think DeMar DeRozan may have. I'm not saying he did, but if it's one of the three players who actually have the pull to go into management's office and voice their frustration to the point where they make a change, if I'm gonna guess, I would probably roll with DeMar. He probably voiced his frustration about things that are going on. Figuring that when he signed there, things would be a little different, and he may not have liked the way Mike Brown was running things. Now, on the other hand, I thought De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox fouled a three-point shooter at the end of the game, which caused them to lose their game. And in the presser, Mike Brown said, "You do not foul a three-point shooter," and he was indirectly addressing De'Aaron Fox. Now, so with that being said, that could have been the thing that De'Aaron Fox went into management and said, "Get him out of here."
He goes or I go in the next couple of years. He's a free agent at the end in 2 years or next year or something.
I think he's got one more season. I think he's got one more season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see De'Aaron Fox contract.
I mean,
and I think Sabonis is just happy to be there. He just played hard. So I will put Sabonis on that island.
De'Aaron Fox has got next season. He's got one more year that he's unrestricted.
Yeah.
So, how old is he?
Good question. How old is De'Aaron Fox? 27.
He's young.
He's 27.
So
this will be his seventh season.
I think they're trying to do everything they can possibly to keep De'Aaron Fox there and happy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that looks like.
Let me play Mike Malone here, because Mike Malone sounded
our favorite guy.
Well, I love Mike. I really do.
I don't give a shit.
He doesn't care. But I like Mike just because he's very honest. He is not afraid to say maybe what other people might dance around, and he was very forthright about the way this went down with Sacramento.
And at first, I was really shocked and surprised. Then I caught myself. So why am I shocked and surprised? For two reasons. One, because as an NBA head coach, ultimately you're going to get the blame. When they win, it's going to go to Sabonis and Fox. When you lose, it's going to go to Mike Brown. That's the way it works. And two, who he works for. So I'm not surprised that Mike Brown got fired, because I got fired by the same person. And what really pissed me off about it was the fact that they lost last night, 5th game in a row, I believe. Tough loss, fouling a jump shooter. They had practice this morning. He does his post-game media, and he's in his car going to the airport to fly to LA, and they call him on the phone. No class, no balls. That's what I'll say about that.
No class, no balls. According to Mike Malone. And he went through. I mean, he's been through it with the same management group. So
when was he with the management group over there?
Mike Malone was the head coach from 2014 to 2015 of the Sacramento Kings. He was there for a year. The Sacramento Kings have had more head coaches, 7, than they've had playoff wins, 3, since new ownership took over in 2013. So that was including Mike Malone in 2014 to 2015. Corbin in 2015, George Karl from 2015 to 2016, Dave Yarger from 17 to 2019, Luke Walton 2020 to 2022, and Alvin Gentry in 2022, and then Mike.
Rob, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
When a head coach voices his opinion in the manner in which Mike Malone did about another head coach getting fired in the way he got fired, in that type of way, because that's not a regular type of way in which we normally hear that happen. We've heard stuff before, but how do you think that rings in the ears of the management that employs him? You see what I'm saying? When Mike Malone says that about another coach and another team's management, how do you think that rings in the ears of the management that kind of employs him with his team? Do you think they hear that a certain type of way, or it sits with them? Because everybody's hired to be fired.
Yeah.
So do you think it sits with them a type of way to hear him express himself about a way in which another coach was fired?
I think it all goes on if they're in that Billionaires Boys Club together. Now, if I'm owner and I'm friends with the owner in Sacramento, we do business together, I have a certain type of bond with him. Now, you saying this about my friend, it might sit a certain way with me. But I think at the end of the day, the smart people, and most of the owners are smart, they're like, it's just a one man's opinion. We don't run our organization like that. I can't say how they supposedly run their organization, but I will have a conversation with Mike. I'm like, yo, there's certain things that should be said and certain things that shouldn't be said. And I think this is one of those situations where you win a little championship. Now you feel a little high on your horse, because Mike Malone has always felt high on his horse, like he's the best coach and he's this and that. So he's a little cocky. But sometimes you need to, hey, you do forget that you still work for me. All right. I'm the boss. I'm the one to sign your check. So let's just tone it down a little bit. And if you don't want to do that, you ain't won shit in a while. We got bounced in the second round. It's, to me, that's just how I look at it, because, and it's not about, knowing your role and shutting your mouth. It's just about, respect for the owner, the people that you work for. And I think in that sense, it's almost like him saying, like, I'm fucking Phil Jackson around here. I'm Chuck Daly around here, and I think it's just like I always say, everything in this world is pecking order. I think it's boiled down to pecking order, what you can say and what you shouldn't say.
Yeah. I've always wondered that, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know how you're going to go, because this could be something that this happened this year, but let's say 3 years down the line, they forget about this and Mike Malone is fired in some weird way. And then another coach comments on the way he was fired. So I've always wondered about how current management thinks about their current head coach speaking about another coach in his situation like that.
It's it's a club, man. And I think a lot of times they all stick together. These owners stick together in some way, some form or not.
Well, and Mike's been, like we talked about before, he's been through it with the same management group, so he's in a position to speak to it from experience, not just kind of broadly speculate about the way something went down. He's like, hey, this is kind of how it went down with me. This is how it went down with him. I'm really not surprised. But it was do you think Mike Brown gets another gig?
Yeah, because he's won a championship. And think about it, Doc Rivers keeps bouncing. He's won a championship.
Yeah, if Doc Rivers is employable, then Mike Brown is definitely employable, right?
Hey, that one title that Doc Rivers got, boy, that thing got some power, don't it?
Hey, don't forget the coach of the year.
It's got some, yeah. But those
He-
two have some road miles on them, because he's taken those around the league a couple times.
I've never met Mike Brown before. He seems like a really nice guy. But to me, there's certain coaches in this league that are great assistant coaches. And I think Mike Brown is a great assistant coach, because, even though every time he gets to a team, his first year, they're great. But can you be consistent? Yeah. And he's never been consistent after that first year. It's like, a lot of players get new coach, they're excited and all this kind of stuff. But can you maintain that level of play? And you think about the drop off that they went from number one, his first year there, to not even making the playoffs. Right. Now they're still losing. So,
that's what we were talking about when it came up previously was what do you do now? You're sort of stuck back in limbo. Yeah.
And we got to, it's certain teams in all sports. Some are just, it's just snake bitten, man. You think about it, Sacramento Kings are just snake bitten in the sense that you can't get players to go there. You always right there on the chance of winning something, and next thing something happens and you fall back down, and then you got to build a team back up, and then you get a new arena. Okay, you got a new arena, you got new excitement, then it falls back down. It's just like they got to bring in some type of coaches, some players that want to get in there. And I don't know if that's going to be possible,
Yeah.
You gotta out recruit your legacy in that case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, I get a good recruiting class. Everybody get some picks like the Celtics did.
Yeah, start over and hope you have the right guy at the helm to make it work.
Mike Brown won, was it 2 Coach of the Year awards?
I don't know. Let me check on that.
I think he won 2.
Well, he really
won in Cleveland, and did he win in Sacramento too?
He was the unanimous winner of Coach of the Year in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah.
The only one I have.
So he won 2. Oh, no, 1 season. That one season.
That one season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only place I see his name.
Got it.
I thought he won in Cleveland too. Who knows?
I don't see.
I thought so too.
He did. 2008, 2009. There you go.
Yeah. So I thought he
2008,
so
2009 in Cleveland. Yeah, and then
in Sacramento.
Again in Sacramento.
Yeah.
22, 23. Yeah.
He double cursed.
Well, this is again, too. Look we had Monty Williams win it in 21. He gets fired. Mike Brown wins it in 22. He gets fired. It was Mark Denault for Oklahoma City in 23. So, Mark, pack your bags, buddy.
I think the craziest one happened in y'all backyard, though. That was the craziest one.
Which one was this? Budenholzer?
Mm-mm.
Who are you talking about?
When No, what's his name? Not the other guy. Oh no, I'm thinking not Budenholzer. I know I'm thinking with Dwayne Casey. I got him confused.
Oh,
I was thinking
okay.
about Dwayne Casey and the Raptors.
Like the only Hawks coach has won Coach of the Year.
Budenholzer.
Lenny Wilkins, I think.
yeah.
Or Lenny Wilkins.
Mike won it. Bud won it.
Bud did win it because that was the year they went to the they went on that run.
He did 2014. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
They went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I forgot about that. Was the year they went undefeated in January, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't lose a game the whole month. All right. Well, look, I know we kind of ran past it because we talked about the Hall of Fame, but how was everybody's holiday? How was Christmas and stuff?
I had so much fun.
Did you?
Yeah, we always do the little white elephant thing, and it's so much fun. You know, we had a bunch of people over, and we just sat around, watch some good NBA games. You know, but I did flip over to watch the Beyonce halftime. But
that's all you watched. You didn't watch anything else except the Beyonce halftime. Okay.
Yeah, I watched I watched the NBA games. I wasn't watching NFL. I was watching the NBA games, but
okay.
I did flip over to watch the Beyonce halftime. But it was a great Christmas, man. I had fun. Got some good gifts.
Good.
So yeah.
Harp, you have fun?
That's what's up. Yeah, we had a good Christmas. All the family came over to my mom's house, and which was where we have Christmas anyway every year. Nice. I was a little bit of the opposite than Rob. I watched more football than I did basketball, just because, like I said, I love NBA. I understand that's Christmas. I get it, but it's something about that football, boy. When football is on. Once you're glued to it, you're glued to it. Now, unfortunately, none of these games on Christmas were good.
But all the NBA games were good.
Yes, they were.
Bridges
were.
I'm gonna talk. Can I talk about that game real quick?
Go ahead.
Watching this game, right? This goes to show you how selfish players can be, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but this is the egos and all this, and it's not I'm looking at this game. And Mikal Bridges is hot. I mean, when I say hot, he was on fire. So you get down to the end of the game, and all of a sudden, Brunson's like, okay, I got the ball. I'm like, no, what are you doing? And as a coaching staff and as teammates, you've given him the ball every play down, and he's scored, right? But now it's like the last 30 seconds of the game, a man and a half, you get 2 possessions. You get nothing out of those 2 possessions. Why didn't you give the ball to Bridges? This guy, I mean, I didn't understand that at all. I'm like, Tibbs, what the fuck are you doing? And this is what when I talk about coaches, they want to go with their guys so much. I'm not that type of coach. If I coach, I'm going with the fucking hot guy. That's what you play the numbers. Everybody always talking about analytics. If this guy is hot, you give him the rock. Is anybody be able to stop him? No, you give him the rock. And I just didn't understand that, man. And that's just, and I know if you got Kobe Bryant over here and you got, Glenn Rice right here, who you want the balls in hand. If Glenn Rice doesn't have the ability to put the ball on the floor like Kobe, yes. But Mikal Bridges has the ability to get to the rack and do what he was doing, create space and get to his spot. So, all right, I'm off my soapbox. I just didn't understand that down the stretch.
Well, it's the Knicks. Not a lot of people understand what the Knicks do. So, including
they won the game, so that's all that matters.
They did. Well, if you ask LeBron,
I love the NFL, but Christmas is our day.
Yeah, Christmas is our day. Except for the fact that viewership for the NFL was 5 times what it was for the NBA.
But that's always, and that's the thing. Even though viewership was hoodwinked by these NFL games because they weren't good, the fact that football is on Christmas is it's a way that they just sling their power around. They say, look, NBA, we know it's your day, but guess what? If we have at least one game on this day, it's gonna knock your viewership off. And I knew the numbers were gonna be bigger for the NFL with or without Beyonce. Beyonce helped
tremendously.
Yes, it did.
Beyonce pulled in a lot of viewers for the NFL. I think part 2 of it too is like the NFL games that are going to be on at the end of December actually have like playoff implications, and even if the games aren't good, there's something that they're playing for. The NBA games on Christmas are great. They're awesome. They're a tradition. If they're good games, they're good matchups like we had this year. They're fun to watch. But there's not really a whole lot on the line by Christmas. For the NBA, I was having a great Christmas till I got a text from Rob.
Hey, how
My
was
Christmas
your
was going
I
great till he
getting to
reminded me that Draymond's got 7 texts by Christmas.
That bet. Look,
I was like,
I've been told y'all this.
hold on, man. My under 10 technicals is starting to look real ugly now. I might have to up that line to like under 20. I don't know if he's gonna.
That's when it started to look ugly for you.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, no, it started to look ugly early in the year, but Christmas was really the. Here's your lump of coal, jackass.
It didn't look ugly when you made the bet.
No, because I was in a weird headspace that day.
Oh, you
And
believe in Draymond too much.
He lucky he didn't get a text. I mean, a text for that double takedown.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. But it's funny though, man. Yeah, it was. I love watching the Christmas game. It was some good games. It was a really good game.
I do have this audio of Draymond cursing out Buddy Hield too.
Yeah, let's hear
during
that.
the game. So here's the audio from the game. The game mics picked this up.
You're just trying to think about your shot selection. Draymond had to shoot that with the shot clock running down. But you saw Draymond's ferocity there. Hey, wake the fuck up! Enough of the sloppy passes. We got to win this game. Everybody has to be accountable.
That was all on hot mics live on the air. Wake the F up or sit the F down. He's yelling. He's cursing out Buddy Hield. Now, after the game, he was asked about it. He's like, well, it's kind of like a motivation technique. Like, that's how I motivate guys. I got to figure out what's either some guys like a talking to and a pep talk, and some guys like to get cussed out and yelled at and screamed at, and all of a sudden that gets under their skin and they start playing better. Feels like a little bit of a cop-out answer for me, but
you have to know the temperature of your teammates. You got to know who you can yell at, who you can't. You know, like for me, you yell at me, I'm looking at you like you're fucking crazy. And I've said this like to 2 or 3 players on my team where when they yell at me, I said, let me tell you something, man. Don't you ever fucking yell at me again. Now, you got that? There's 2 people that can yell at me in my life, my mom and my dad, but you don't have the fucking right. I've said that to a couple of players. I actually I'm not going to call his name out, but he and I were really good friends. Like when I first got to the team, he and I hung out, but he yelled at me on the floor, and then he had the nerve to yell at me on the bench in front of everybody. And I grabbed him by his fucking chest and said, yo, let me tell you something, man. Don't you ever fucking yell at me again. You got that? And so he's like, oh, my bad. And he never fucking talked to me again. We would hang out together on the road. We ain't hang out no more after that. You know, but that's how sensitive players can be. And I'm not going to say
he's not going to do it. I knew you
weren't going to do it.
His name's on the Hall of Fame ballot. He's not doing this.
Yeah.
I don't need the clicks.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny. Then it's just weird that some guys you can yell at, some guys you can't. You know, you could yell at Shaq, and he was like, "All right, I got you." You know, you could yell at Cole. You know, you could like I had to talk to Tim. I didn't yell at Tim. I'm like, "Come on, big dog." You know, but there's certain players you could yell at Rick. Rick is the one player that really got when you yelled at him. It like inspired him, man. It made him go like fucking berserk.
Okay, so that is legitimate though. That like that yeah. There's different guys that respond to different stuff. Yeah. Like some guys will get fired up if you yell at them, and then some guys like you will threaten to punch you in the teeth if you yell at them.
Exactly.
So everyone's got different levels.
Are you going down the list of people I play with trying to see?
No. He's going through rosters. Yeah, because going through the 92 Rockets roster. Wait a minute, hold on.
Without any hint whatsoever, there's no way I could find any of that. But when you said you could yell at Shaq, was that certain guys? Because in my mind, I see certain guys yelling at Shaq and Shaq coming around with this backhand that knocks him into whatever year.
Yeah, you're right. You're right with that. Like, you know, you couldn't have JoJo over here sitting on the bench yell at Shaq unless they were boys. You know, it's just one of those things.
Because Shaq got upset with Kobe for calling him out. And I know he would get upset for some other folks calling him.
Yeah, but I think that's because Kobe was a kid at the time. Yeah. I mean, like fresh in the league.
Yeah, you can't call someone out in public. You know what I mean? Now if you call them out, like, you know, you think about the NBA now compared to there wasn't that many microphones, so you didn't pick up what we were saying that much. Yeah. Like you could go to Shaq and like, come on, motherfucker, you. Like I would yell at Shaq sometime. Then I would just go walk up to him sometime like, yo, you suck tonight, dude. Come on. You know, you have to know who you playing with, and you have to know their temperature at all times. So
that's true.
You know, that's one thing I loved about Shaq. You know, Shaq he know when he was fucking up, and he wasn't one of those guys that like to sugarcoat and point to someone else. But so he was cool with that.
Okay,
that's what's up. Yep.
I want to play the Ant-Man audio here also. Anthony Edwards the other night.
My guy Ant-Man.
After the overtime. And here's Ant reaction to the overtime win.
Threw that big shot at the end. All I knew was the play was for Drew to go 14, small pick and roll. Once he picked it up, I mean, who else I got to go get it. Shit. And Kill found me. He cut me off. I'm like, shit, I'm going for the win. Like Gilbert Arenas said, I don't do overtime, so fuck it.
Live on the air.
If there's one player in the league that does not care or he does not realize that there is a mic and a camera in front of his face, is Ant-Man. He gonna talk to you like he talked to his homeboys back here in Atlanta. That's how he gonna talk. Unfortunately, it's gonna cost him some money, but that's how he gonna talk.
It cost him $100,000, by the way. $100,000 for foul language. That's a lot of money.
Hey man, he need a PR team. He need a PR team.
How does he not have one? He has to have one. You can't say he needs one. He has to have one.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the audio. It's hysterical.
It's funny.
But it ain't worth $100,000. You know what I mean? Like a good chuckle on a podcast ain't worth $100,000.
I think a lot of times the NBA they throwing these big fines out to just show hey, cut that shit out now. So
yeah, let's not do this again. Let's not do this again.
I love Ant-Man.
Oh no, he always makes me laugh.
Boy, he Atlanta to the heart. I love him to death.
Dude, I'll tell you, man. I also this week, NBA fights are back.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good one. I'm gonna play some audio here. This is audio of the fight. This was Tyler Hero and Amon Thompson. You're gonna hear the fight audio. Then you're gonna hear Ime Udoka, who had to be pulled out of the middle of this, and then you're gonna hear Tyler Hero at the end as well. So here you go.
A fight! Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, and Tyler Hero all involved. Madness on the floor here in Houston. Thompson went after Tyler Hero. Wow, watch how it erupts. The bump between Hero and Amen Thompson. And then watch what Thompson does. Whoa! Oh, my. Amen Thompson's going to get tossed out of this game. Absolutely. And Ime Udoka has to be restrained by his security staff.
I didn't see it live, but I rewatched it, and they were in each other's face, bumping chests a little bit, and one guy's stronger than the other.
I guess that's what happens when someone's scoring, throwing dimes, doing the whole thing. So I get mad too.
I like Tyler Hero at the end. I'd be mad too. So I'd show you. That was a good one though. As far as NBA fights go, there was actual physical contact. It wasn't like someone threw a hook and missed, and then everybody.
Was that the one where Tyler Hero? Was that the one where he got slung down by the throat?
Yep.
To the ground.
Yeah. Mon Thompson kind of got him around by the jersey and the shoulders, and then just kind of like threw him to the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you're gonna get tossed for that. But
but
I do like an NBA fight.
Yeah, watching that fight, let me just say this. The guy out of this fight who got the most respect, I guarantee, from his teammates was Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier went and speared his ass. You see that? he was the one inbounding it. He's winning it like, I'm gonna spear you, fucking ass.
Put you down.
And it was just melee after that. And it's so weird now. But I didn't, we speaking of fights, I don't know if we're gonna go to the Mavericks Suns fight.
Go ahead. I didn't put it on there, but yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, but I didn't understand the suspensions for that fight. I think they went back old school. Back in the day, if you smack somebody with an open hand, it was 1 game. If you had closed fists, it's 3 games. And then what's the big that I can't think of his name right now? Oh shit. But that fight though was for the Suns.
Ayton.
Yeah,
No, he ain't there.
No, not Ayton.
I'm not Ayton.
Nurkic.
Nurkic. Yeah.
Nurkic.
So you think about this. You stand and all of a sudden at Nurkic, you smack me upside my head. You're not gonna get this 2-piece.
Yeah.
And Marshall got more. He got 4 games. Nurkic got 3.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoa, motherfuckers! He started this shit by smacking me upside the head.
Yeah. PJ Washington also got a game too.
Yeah. PJ went in there, PJ likes to. He went in there and pushed him back, but that Nurkic got some weak knees though. He went down to his knees, but Glass Joe maybe. But I didn't understand that suspension. I'd be a little pissed though if I'm Marshall. I'm like, dude, this dude smacked me first. You ain't gonna disrespect me like that. Smack me upside my head and not think you're gonna get this 2-piece.
Yeah, I love that though. I do like a good NBA fight. Let him fight. Let him swing. I do want to go back quickly talk about our college football playoff picks because they were pretty split. I only won one of the four. I did not do well. Rob, you won 3 out of 4. So Notre Dame beat Indiana 27-17. Harp and I won that. Rob lost. Yeah. He has no faith in Notre Dame.
Still don't.
No, still don't.
They have faith in either one of them teams, let's be honest.
No. Penn State destroyed SMU 38-10. I thought SMU was going to show up. They did not. They got whooped. Texas whooped Clemson. Rob, you were saying that you thought Clemson was going to lose by 21. They lost by 14. You weren't that far off.
That last touchdown they got, kind of made me pissed off. I'm like, why y'all? So, yeah.
Garbage. So 38-24. So you and Hart both won that one. I lost that one. And the last one was Ohio State, who just crushed Tennessee. 42-17, like not even competitive.
That was the most disappointing game. Probably.
I expected Tennessee to come out with a lot more.
This is why when you come out on the field with no shirts on and you're trying to act hard and you get back in there like, the reality check gonna set in. I'm like you, y'all. That was really disappointing in that Ohio State game. Tennessee seemed like they could have just said, I've been bet off having Ole Miss in that fucking game. It was just awful.
Yeah, it was really not good. It was not good. All right, well, here's what we got. So we'll do our next set of picks because we have games tonight on New Year's Eve, and then we have 3 games tomorrow on New Year's Day. And these are the college football playoff quarterfinals now. So here we go. Number 6, Penn State versus number 3, Boise State in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. That happens tonight. Penn State's laying 11.5.
I'll take that.
You taking the action on Penn State?
Yeah.
I'm with you, too. I think Penn State's going to destroy Boise State. I think, especially coming off the way they played against SMU. Yeah. I think if they could stop the run, that's it, man. It's got to be the key.
Penn State, I didn't know, I knew this, but after watching, their defensive line is fucking good.
Very good.
And I thought Tennessee's defensive line was very good, but they were boo-boo. But yeah, this one is Penn State is for real. I'm really excited to see that game.
We got.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched a game by Boise State all year. You hear all the hype about the running back.
I watched what was the Mountain West Championship game. I watched like about a half of that, and I mean, what's his name? Genty. He was unbelievable. He was electric. He looked incredible, but I keep reminding myself this is the Mountain West Championship game. Like, let's see how you look against a Big Ten team or an ACC or an SEC team.
I'm taking. I'm taking Penn State. I do believe that this. Now, here's the thing with Boise State that I have to give them credit for, and I forgot about. Out of all the games that I'm going to Oregon here, all the games that Oregon played, Boise State only lost to them by 2 or 3 points. I don't know if y'all remember that early in the season. So Oregon's the number 1 seed. Oregon played Boise State early in the season, and they took Oregon down to the wire. I think it was a 3-point game, 2 or 3-point game.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to give Penn State all they can handle. Now, I do think Penn State will win the game, but I think Boise's going to show up.
Yeah, Oregon won by a field goal, 37-34.
Yeah.
And that's the number one. Now, that's early, but that's the number 1 seed overall.
Week 2. It was week 2, yeah.
I look at the Oregon team. They only played 1 team this year. That was Ohio State, so in the beginning of the year. And anything you do in the beginning of the year, I'm kind of like, because I'm looking at the middle of the year and the end of the year, how you playing. So
here's where I'm looking.
Who you playing?
Here's where I'm looking. Georgia Southern hung 45 on Boise State. Oregon put 37 on them. Utah State put 30 on them. UNLV put 24 on them. Nevada put 21 on them. Unranked Wyoming put up 13. And SJSU, I don't even know what that is. San Jose State, I guess, put 21 on them. Now, they outscored them in all those games, and that's the thing. They're just going to let Genty run that football, and they're going to just push that offense as hard as they can. But I don't think Penn State's going to allow them to do that. And if that defense, if they can't stop them from hanging 28, 30 points on them, they may not have a shot.
Yeah.
They just might not have a shot. All right, next game. Number 5, Texas. At number 4, Arizona State, right here in Atlanta. Harp will be working the game.
We'll be doing the broadcast for
in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Texas is laying 12.5 against the Sun Devils. That's a fat number.
Arizona State has been disrespected all season long.
They have.
I met with Cam Scatterboo yesterday. Met him, talked to him. I mean, stocky guy, short.
He's a beast,
stocky.
though. Yeah, but he's a beast, man.
Hines Ward is the wide receiver coach at Arizona State.
Yep.
They've been disrespected all year. Now, I'm taking Texas to win this game. I think Arizona State playing with all the house money in the world. And they're gonna throw everything. They're gonna throw everything they can at Texas, and I think this might be a closer game than what people want to think.
Okay,
my opinion.
What do you think, Rob?
You know, I watched Arizona State, and I'm looking at their offense and their receivers. They slang that bitch, right? But I just think Texas is just going to be too dominant. I just think their run game is going to be dominant, and I'm taking Texas, and I'm taking the points. I think Texas will cover, so I'm taking Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with Harp. I think Arizona State's going to put up a fight, but I still think Texas is going to win. I don't know if they cover.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to take the cover on that, but I still think Texas is going to win the game. This one I'm very interested to see. Number 5 Ohio State versus number 1 Oregon in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State laying 2.5 points to the number 1 team in the country. A little bit of disrespect to the Ducks there. And I'll go first here because I think the Ducks are going to run up on them. I think the Ducks run this one.
I'm going to take Oregon.
I'm taking Ohio State. I'm
State.
I'm not a believer in either one of these teams, to be honest.
I'm not a huge believer in Ohio State either, but Oregon's offense this year has been enough to get the job done every time, and it hasn't been by a ton, but it's been enough.
I think sometimes you can find something that fucking clicks and the light bulb goes on. After watching Ohio State versus fucking Tennessee, and I think sometimes when you get punched in the mouth by Michigan and you go out and you beat the SEC team, and I think something has clicked for Ohio State. So, and I hate to root for Ohio State, but I think something has clicked for them, and they're going to beat Oregon.
Okay. Last game, All-State Sugar Bowl. Number 7 Notre Dame versus number 2 Georgia. Georgia's only laying 1.5 points.
You know why?
Give me Georgia by 1 million.
Well, it's the
because of Gunnar Stockton. I get it. Yeah, you're on your backup quarterback. But I'll tell you what, man. I said it last week. I'll say it again. They looked better with Gunnar Stockton in the SEC championship game than they ever did with Carson Beck.
Yeah.
And I get it. Beck's experienced. He's been there. He's been in all the big game situations. I get that. They looked more energized with Gunnar Stockton. So I have faith, man. If there's a team in the country that can get away with a backup quarterback in a game like this, it's going to be Georgia.
You know, and I think I'm not even counting on Georgia's offense. I'm just saying Georgia's defense is so freaking good that they might be one of these situations where the defense wins the game for you, get you in good field position. You only need to
score maybe like 20 points.
Yeah. And also, I think, you think about this. Gunnar has gotten all the reps for 2 weeks. Now he can show those coaches like, yo, run that fucking play for me. I can do this shit. So I'm looking for him to, even though a lot of people are worried about him being the quarterback, but like you said, he's a fearless dude. And I think he can they're going to open up a playbook for him. And I think Georgia's they're going to cover plus some. I got to take in Georgia.
What Ray Charles say? Georgia.
Georgia.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, I don't believe in no. I have never believed in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish on these type of stages. Yes, they won their first game. Cool. I have never believed in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, especially when he starts going up against SEC schools. Backup quarterback or not, Georgia gonna run their football and Georgia gonna play defense.
Yep.
Now let's see Notre Dame stop that.
All right. Well, these should hopefully be at least good games.
And plus, plus Georgia's running back is like healthy and back. So that's one of the things people have forgotten about throughout the season. Yeah, he's back and he's healthy. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if this was Alabama in this situation and they were on a backup quarterback, I'd be like, nah, no problem. Because there's certain teams that are just that good at depth and at offensive line and at prepping guys. Georgia's one of those teams. Alabama's one of those teams. There's only a few teams that I feel like could get away with that. I feel like Georgia's one of them. So I have no fear. I think dogs might big. All right, we're going to play a quick game here. First, I'm going to give a big shot of the week. It's going to go to the Policía Nacional de Peru, the National Police of Peru. And here's why. You might have seen this. They went out doing drug busts on Christmas holidays, dressed as the Grinch.
Saw that.
They had the dude dressed as the Grinch walking around with a sledgehammer, breaking down doors and arresting drug dealers on Christmas Day.
That was some funny shit.
Love it. Because if you're going to go out and work on Christmas, busting drug dealers, do it dressed like the Grinch. So they get big shot of the week just because the hilarity of that was outstanding.
Absolutely.
Merry motherfucking Christmas.
The best too is there's video of like the Grinch cuffing women and putting them in the cars and stuff. And it's like, oh, dude, what are you doing? Come on. Come on. All right, we'll do a very quick game here. And I'm anxious to test how much of this you guys know or remember. This game is called It Happened This Year. I'm just going to give you a trivia question about something that happened this year. You got to know that it's the last day of 2024. This happened in 2024. How much do we remember about the year that was? So I'll just go back and forth. And if you can't get it, the other guy can steal it if we want. So we'll start with Robert Horry. In January, with 20 decks and the ability to hold 7,600 passengers, and longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall, the Icon of the Seas set sail as the largest cruise ship ever built by what company?
Carnival Cruise Line?
That is incorrect. Harp. The Icon of the Seas set sail this year. Biggest cruise ship ever built by what company?
This was built by Royal Caribbean.
It was built by Royal Caribbean. Good job. Nice. Yeah, it's longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall. That seems obscene.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a behemoth for real.
Rob, you don't like cruises though, do you?
Nope.
Oh, see, we love a cruise. I'll go on a cruise. I'll love a cruise.
Nope.
Love a cruise. But if the ship's too big, it becomes insane because you never get to see or do everything. It's just too much.
Hey.
All right, Harper. What team won the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals in an epic Game 7 this year?
I can remember that. That's one sport I don't watch.
But it happened this year.
It did happen. It did happen.
All over the news.
I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. It wasn't the Islanders, was it?
It was not. Rob, what team won the Stanley Cup this year?
Was it what's that damn team in Quebec?
No. That was who they played, I think, in the finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
no, they played the Edmonton Oilers. It was the Florida Panthers.
Oh.
The
Florida Panthers won it this year. Yeah. I know. Everyone's surprised.
That bad that we don't know how.
Yes, it's that bad. National story, biggest award in the game. No, I don't have a clue. That team in Canada was the answer, I think. All right, Robert Horry. Over the summer, it was announced the Oakland A's would be headed to Las Vegas, but not for another 3 years. What city will they have to play in until their new Vegas stadium is complete?
I think I know this.
We talked about this on the show.
Shit.
By the way, I think every one of these stories in here we've talked about on the show.
Sacramento?
That's right.
Nice
right.
job. Give that man a
Sacramento A's.
The Sacramento A's for 3 years in a stadium that holds like 17,000 people.
Look, they only had 3,000 people show up anyway.
And it didn't matter. It did not matter. All right, Harper. Christopher Nolan won Best Director and Best Picture at the Oscars for what movie this year? Rob knows it?
No, I don't.
Know it. Rob's on the fence.
Know it.
He won Picture of the Year. The biggest award you're going to win all year for a movie.
I'm trying to think. And I'm going to kick myself because you're going to tell me and I'm going to be like, yeah. I can't remember.
I have no clue.
You guys don't know?
Uh-uh.
Oppenheimer. The movie about the atomic bomb.
Yeah, the atomic bomb.
Robert Downey Jr. won an award. What an
I
Oscar
was going to say Barbie.
that was the joke was that was the movie that opened opposite it. And everyone was doing the Barbenheimer thing this summer. They were going to see Barbie, and then they were going to see Oppenheimer. Two movies that don't coordinate in any way.
That's like Gladiator and Glicket.
Yeah, no, that didn't really click the way the other one did.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, Rob. You should get this. The Boston Celtics rolled through the 2024 NBA playoffs and the finals to win what number title in Boston history?
18.
That was their 18th title. Very good. Harper, despite being arrested ahead of the PGA Championship, what golfer this year went on to win the Masters, the Tour Championship, and the Players?
What's my boy name?
Ran over the police.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta get there.
Oh God! His face is right there in my mind. I'm just trying to remember his name. I got his face right here.
I only know the name of one golfer.
Okay, well, let's see if this is the right one then.
It's not it's a name I'm about to say. I don't think it's it. It's not Bryson DeChambeau.
It is not.
It's not. It's the other one. It's the other one.
Yeah, it's the other one.
I know one golfer outside of Tiger Woods. That was Scotty.
And that's the right answer. Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler.
That's right. It was his year in golf, man. He was unbelievable. He ran over a cop and then won 3 majors.
Yeah, he the one. I knew his name started.
I know. Oh, it's Jordan Scotty. And that's how I know, Bulls players.
Jordan Scotty. Okay. I like that.
I got more golfers. I know other golfers as well.
Rob, you better get this. In July, what team did Team USA beat to win the gold medal?
Paris.
Technically, yes, I'll give it to you. France. Yeah, France. Paris is in France. It's close enough. I guess it's close
France.
enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, okay.
Hey, Team USA didn't win it. Los Angeles won it.
The West Coast. That's a West Coast win.
They were in Paris. That was France.
Okay.
Team France.
Harper, how many years was on the deal that Juan Soto signed with the New York Mets in November? We know it was the biggest deal in Major League Baseball history.
I think.
How many years was it?
2 numbers. I think it's 15.
It was 15. Good job.
Yeah.
15 years, $765 million.
He won't see all them years.
No chance.
Because he has an opt-out after year 5, I think.
Yeah. And that's crazy. Yeah. Rob, on January 5th, at the start of this year, an Alaska Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing. National story, because what exploded on the plane? This was a humongous story.
It was?
And we talked about it on this show.
Read that again.
In the January of this year, 2024, an Alaska Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing after what exploded on the plane?
I have no clue.
I think you might kick yourself when I tell you, though.
A soda pop.
No. Do you remember, Harp?
Was it the toilet?
No, it wasn't the toilet. That would have been amazing.
That's the one where the person was on the Delta flight and they shit it all down the fucking aisle. That's a different one.
I don't know if that happened this year. We can't remember if that was this year or not, but that was a story. Yeah, that was a story. No, it was the door. Remember the door plugs exploded and the whole door blew off the side of the plane?
Yes, I remember that.
They had to make it. That was a huge story. Boeing was in all kinds of hot water because of it.
Boeing been in hot water for forever.
Well, Boeing got a couple of people stranded up in space this year, so they've had problems. All right, where are we? Harper. Only a few more left. How many WNBA records did Caitlin Clark break this year in her rookie season?
A lot.
Good answer.
But I
looking
know
for a little more accuracy, but
right.
Yeah.
Paris.
Paris. Why do they call this big show Paris?
I don't know. Was it 30?
No, it's not 30.
Oh, maybe you make it sound like it's a lot lower.
I don't know if there are 30 WNBA records that you can break.
Oh, dang, what you trying to say?
Well, I'm not directed at the WNBA. I'm just saying in general. How many, Rob? How many do you think it was?
I'm gonna take the fifth. 5.
You're pretty close. 4.
Oh, I was way off.
Points for a rookie, 3-pointers for a rookie, assists in a single season, and assists in a single game. All broken records by Caitlin Clark in a rookie season. All right, Harper. Or no, I'm sorry, Rob. What movie this year set the record for the all-time highest-grossing R-rated film in the summer of 2024?
Deadpool?
It was Deadpool and Wolverine, the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time. Beat the Joker. Yeah. All right, last one, Harp. In September, what were the names of the 2 hurricanes that caused all that damage in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Virginia, and Georgia? There were 2 hurricanes that hit. What were their names?
Dang, how things just sit with us for a second. And
I know, and then vanish. Because I was even like, when I was looking it up, I'm like, oh crap, what were the names of those storms? Oh crap, I should know it.
I know.
Don't know. I can't remember.
It's okay
the names.
if you don't know. I didn't know either. Rob, do you remember?
He don't know. He over on the West Coast, so he definitely don't know.
It was Helene and Milton. Hurricane
Milton.
Helene was the one that made all the damage in North Carolina, and then Milton right after it.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So, congratulations. All that stuff happened this year. We remembered practically none of it.
Very little of it. Very little of it.
I do want to say, good job, Harp. You went perfect for the football playoffs so far, so keep it up, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Harp won all 4 of those games.
Yeah.
He did. He won every
I hope
game.
he went to Vegas.
It's almost kind of like this is what I do. It's almost kind of like I watch it, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of like I work in sports, you know? Meanwhile, so do all of us, and yet you're the only one.